$300 million. That's what it cost Disney to transform the most beloved fairy tale ever told into a disaster no one saw coming. The live-action Snow White remake wasn't just a flop, it was an unprecedented catastrophe. And at the heart of it all is actress Rachel Zegler, whose recent comments have turned a box office failure into one of Hollywood's most bizarre controversies. But how exactly did a simple fairy tale become a cultural battleground? Stick around, because this drama is just getting started. Disney's executives thought they had a guaranteed hit on their hands. They dumped a staggering $410 million into this film between production, marketing blitzes, and relentless reshoots, expecting nothing less than blockbuster status. But reality hit, like a poisoned apple. From the very first weekend, theaters were shockingly empty. Box office receipts came in tens of millions short of projections, and within weeks, analysts officially labeled the film a historic bomb, ranking alongside legendary failures like John Carter and The Lone Ranger. Disney lost roughly $115 million, and the financial fallout forced internal shakeups, layoffs, and even panic among investors. But instead of quietly accepting the failure, the film's lead, Rachel Zegler, was ready to ignite a whole new firestorm. In one of the most baffling reactions Hollywood has ever seen, Zegler didn't blame the movie's poor quality or marketing mishaps. Instead, she claimed politics sank the film. According to Zegler, there was a silent majority of fans who secretly loved the movie, but were too afraid to say so publicly. Zegler went so far as to suggest people in her own circle loved the film, as if her personal friends represented millions of silent, satisfied viewers. Yet, critics and audiences across all political spectrums dismissed the movie simply because it wasn't good. It was hollow, preachy, and visually unconvincing. The narrative she spun didn't just fall flat, it actively turned fans against her. But Zegler didn't stop there. Next, she began rewriting what success means in Hollywood. She boldly claimed box office earnings shouldn't matter, insisting that storytelling and diversity were far more important than money. While the sentiment sounds noble, it came off as shockingly disconnected from the reality of blockbuster filmmaking. Disney shareholders didn't see it her way. Leaked details from a tense shareholders meeting revealed that the company was furious. Disney is not an indie studio. They measure success by cold, hard numbers, not abstract ideals. Investors were demanding answers, and Zegler's insistence that profits were irrelevant only fueled their anger. While Zegler continued her crusade, the industry quietly began to close doors, once seen as Hollywood's next big breakout star following her acclaimed performance in West Side Story, Zegler suddenly found offers drying up. Major studios became wary of casting her, not because she lacked talent, but because she had become a liability, a loose cannon in interviews, alienating audiences, and risking millions in potential earnings. Her next confirmed project is a tiny indie film, barely getting a theatrical release. Studios are now cautious, worried that hiring her could mean facing backlash, lost revenues, or another round of costly controversy. Rachel didn't just double down, she pushed further. She declared that diversity and inclusion should be the foundation of every story, more important even than source material or fan expectations. Fans, however, strongly disagreed. They felt the remake treated the beloved original as outdated, insulting rather than celebrating the legacy of the 1937 classic. Critics argued that while representation matters, it has to serve the story organically. Zegler's position, that DEI comes first, seemed dismissive to audiences who felt lectured rather than entertained. Ultimately, her message overshadowed the magic, leaving fans feeling cold and disconnected. Every single controversial statement from Zegler rapidly became meme-worthy. Social media exploded with viral clips titled, "Rachel Zegler out of touch for 10 minutes straight." Each viral moment adding fuel to the growing backlash. Disney executives realized that their costly star was now the biggest obstacle to damage control. Behind the scenes, leaked memos revealed Disney's plan to quietly release Snow White on streaming without fanfare. No press, no trailers, just silence. It was Disney's attempt to quietly bury the movie, hoping audiences would forget the fiasco. But silence in Hollywood can speak louder than words, and fans noticed. The failure of Snow White forced Disney into serious reflection. Insiders revealed that the studio implemented strict new guidelines for future projects, emphasizing respect for beloved characters and ensuring any modernization aligns carefully with audience expectations. When Disney's next big remake, Lilo and Stitch, stuck to its beloved roots rather than lecturing its audience, it smashed Memorial Day records. This showed Disney, and all of Hollywood, that audiences embrace fresh storytelling, but they reject being talked down to. Rachel Zegler's missteps inadvertently provided Hollywood a clear lesson. Storytelling wins over sermonizing every time. But perhaps the most surprising twist was Zegler's inability to step back or acknowledge missteps. Instead, she dug in her heels, continuing to insist the film was misunderstood genius. Hollywood. Insiders quietly warned that her stubbornness was damaging her reputation irreparably. Every new defensive statement made headlines for the wrong reasons. Insiders confirmed Zegler was now considered radioactive among studios, too risky, too unpredictable, and too costly. Just as things couldn't seem stranger, Zegler cryptically hinted at behind-the-scenes tensions, particularly regarding her relationship with co-star Gal Gadot, stating publicly, "It wasn't what I expected, and I'll leave it at that." Fans and media alike scrambled to decode her words, speculating about drama behind the scenes. Was this an attempt to shift blame or distract from her own missteps? Either way, it added yet another layer of confusion and controversy around a film that had already caused Disney more headaches than any other project in recent memory. Disney's live-action Snow White will go down in history, not for the groundbreaking update it intended, but as a textbook example of Hollywood misreading its audience. Rachel Zegler's controversial reactions didn't just prolong the drama, they forever changed how Hollywood views casting outspoken actors in blockbuster films. When the dust finally settles, this fairy tale's lasting legacy won't be its visuals, songs, or even Zegler herself. It'll be a cautionary tale about the importance of humility, respecting your audience, and remembering that storytelling isn't a lecture, it's an invitation. In Hollywood, box office numbers are a brutally honest mirror, and if actors refuse to listen, they risk seeing their careers vanish into reflections they can't control. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed unraveling this Hollywood controversy, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more behind the scenes drama and deep dives into celebrity controversies.